Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm installing this REDTIGER F7NP Dash Cam into my vehicle. But before we dive into the nuts and bolts of it all, I think we should talk about first why it's important that you have a dash cam in your vehicle. There are three very good reasons why you should have a dash cam in your vehicle. Number one is accident proof. If you happen to be unfortunate enough to have an accident on the road, your insurance company can really help you out if you have evidence of that accident, of the crash, especially in a video format. That's number one. Number two, there's enhanced security benefits. If you have a camera like the one I'm going to show you today, you have the benefit of having your vehicle monitored while it's unattended. Number three is driver accountability and safety. If you have a family with new drivers, then this is a good way for you to monitor their driving habits and see what perhaps types of skills they need to improve on. With all that said, let's check out what's inside the box. Looking at the box, it's labeled as the REDTIGER 4K Ultra Clear Wi-Fi and app control GPS tracking. It's the F7NP version. All right, let's see what we have. Looks like it's packed very well. First off, we have some literature. Looks like we have, this is a little sticker if you choose to use a sticky type of installation. Otherwise, it's going to be attached to the windshield with a suction cup. And then you have your user manual and all this other literature. Perfect, great. Here's the suction cup that you would attach to your windshield. This is a lock that really makes it nice and secure. And you would also have to make sure that you attach these pins to the camera itself. Cables. Who doesn't love cables? Okay, so this is your charger. You would stick this into your cigarette lighter, the charger, and this would provide power to your camera via USB-C. Yep. Next we have the back camera. So this is going to be attached to your rear windshield, and it has a pretty long cord. I can't tell you exactly how long it is, but I do remember it's long. And then you have some little clips that will help you maintain or manage some cords. And then you also have this little trim tool which will help you tuck away the wires into the different seals and lining of your interior of your vehicle. Nice. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty, and here is the camera itself. All right. It's very light, very compact. Here you have the screen, and there's the lens. This is where those pins on the suction cup go. So this is the bottom of the camera, or the top of the camera. It goes like this. It'll look like this out of your windshield. It'll look through the front windshield this way. And then this is the back. You have a power button. You have an SD card, a micro SD card slot. And this particular one came with the free 32 gig card. And then on this side, you have menu controls, so you can toggle through the various menu settings and make adjustments as you need. So now that we've taken a look at what this little beauty looks like, let's get it installed into the vehicle and see just how easy the installation is. The first thing I need to do is uninstall the Wolfbox mirror dash cam I had installed. It was a great camera, but I wanted something different, so here we are. The REDTIGER dash cam comes equipped with this DC power adapter that you could use, but because I had some electrical situations with my vehicle, I'm using this OBD adapter instead. It will allow me to have accessory power, so the battery won't run dry. I have a link in the description if you want to check that one out as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is plug in the power to this camera to make sure everything works before I try routing cables and that sort of thing. And when you turn it on, you're going to see that you have your main camera. Your front camera is the main video, and the backup camera is in the top left. Then you hit the button again and you're going to get the backup camera as your main camera, and hit it again. You have full screen front camera, hit it again, full screen back camera. We'll go into more detail in the settings. And then if you hit it again, you get navigation and then you can power it off. Now, in order to mount this, I'm going to first attach the suction cup mount to the camera to see exactly where it is going to be placed on my windshield. I want to make that selection very carefully so that I don't obstruct my view and that type of thing. And when I'm ready, I'm going to clean the glass thoroughly with a little alcohol wipe. And then I'm going to remove the little suction cup backing so that this thing is going to adhere, and it's going to adhere well. Place the suction cup on your windshield and turn that lock to make sure it's very secure. And let me tell you, it is very secure. Then I reattach my camera. Everything looks super great. So now let's get into routing these cables. So in hiding the cables, I'm going to start with the power, and I want to go over my driver's side in order to get a connection to the OBD connector. And I'm using the trim tool when I need it, but otherwise it's really pretty simple. I just push the cable under all the rubber trim, and it's really not that difficult. You just have to find the right route to go whenever you're routing the cables. Now, the next cable I'm going to do is the one for my rear camera, and I'm going to take that over the passenger side of the car. I start by putting the cable up in the headliner, then go route my way to the back. And when I find my mounting position, mounting location, make sure you clean it very well. You don't want any dust or oils. Remove the backing from the sticky part and as well as the lens, and place it and push firmly so that it mounts where you want it. Now it's time to sit back and relax because we're going to talk about menu settings. As I showed you earlier, whenever your camera powers up, you're going to have your front camera as your main default camera, then your rear camera, then full screen front, then full screen back. But let's talk about the settings. So on the right side, in the middle, you punch your menu setting, or the M, and the first thing you're going to deal with is resolution. Now, your front camera is 4K and your back camera is only 1080p. Click your menu again, and I wanted audio on, so I selected that. I scroll down to the date stamp. I do want the date stamp displayed. And I wanted it to loop only 1 minute, because if you have it looping larger, downloads become a little bit more difficult. The sensor, I wanted that on medium. My fatigue, I don't really drive that far, so I just have that off. I do want the speed displayed as I'm driving down the road. And then my GPS stamp, I would like that on as well. Hitting the menu to select, I do have speed units in miles per hour. I do want GPS to be shown, and I did want to flip my rear camera. I'm not exactly showing you how I did that, just you know that they have that in the settings. Now, the next option you have is to go to the app. It's going to show you this QR code that you can use your phone and access the app and download it for free. It's very, very helpful. We'll talk more about that later. You turn the Wi-Fi on when you want to download any of your clips, and I wanted it in English. I wanted the time format in a 12-hour format, and I also wanted the date and time to be displayed in month, date, year, but you can change that format if you so chose to do that. The time zone is, for me, it's Central Time. And then also this next one, I did not select it. The DST is Daylight Savings Time. I should have turned it on, but I can always do that later. And the next is frequency, and it is 60 Hertz in the United States. And my click tone, I did want it on just in case I accidentally clicked it. I wanted to have that back up. And my screen saver, I turned off, but you have options if you want it to turn on or off at a certain time. My parking, you don't have that unless you have your full power, constant power. And then you have formatting your card. Before you get started with recording, it is encouraged that you format your card that comes with the camera. When you want to see what your camera is looking at, both front and or back, you need to select the video, and your display will show what your camera sees. Now, to go into playback, just select that middle option, and you'll notice that you have a top row has F, that's the front camera. The bottom row has the R, which is the rear camera. And you can watch the video clips based on category of if it's something urgent or if it's just normal or whatever. Or even if you take a photo, like right here, I ended up taking a photo accidentally, but I select that and there's my photo that I took. Now here's a little quiz. How do we get back to looking at what our camera sees? We go to the video option. And what I want to show you next is how you work with the app. Now, downloading the app, this is what the icon looks like. It looks like just some camera lens. And then whenever it boots up, you'll notice that it is showing the F7N version. The setup is really rather self-explanatory. But I want to talk to you about some of the little icons on the bottom. Now, when I want to look at some of my footage, click on that far left icon. It looks like a little SD card. And when it boots up, you'll notice that all of your footage is stored, both front and back cameras. And if you click on the settings icon on the far right, you can go through all of those settings that we just went through on the camera, but you can do or make changes to those settings using your phone, which I think is probably a whole lot easier. It's just easier to navigate. And downloading your clips is really pretty easy too. It's pretty intuitive. Now let's take a look at some of the real life footage that I shot or that my camera captured whenever I was on the road. In this particular case, daytime, it looks really, really good. This is your 4K in the front. The sun was shining toward my vehicle, so it's even better whenever it's shooting behind you, I guess, whenever the sun is shooting behind you. And the rear camera is 1080p. In the daytime, it looks pretty good. I think you can make out license plates whenever the vehicle gets a certain distance from you. Otherwise, you can definitely make out makes, models of vehicles, that sort of thing. Now, nighttime is a very different situation. The 4K front-facing camera does a fairly good job, but headlights do get a bit of a halo effect. Now, there is a different filter that you can buy, a third-party filter that you can put onto the lens that will reduce a lot of that halo effect and perhaps make nighttime visuals a bit more clear. That's just something that does exist. The rear-facing camera now, oh boy. It just because it's 1080p and it's at night, these bright lights shooting toward me are really annoying, and it is just there's room for improvement as far as that's concerned. I don't think you're able to make out license plates unless the car is like right on top of you and it's facing you. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found some value in it. Check out the description. I have links in there, and also give it a like and subscribe, and check out some of my other DIY videos I have on my DIY playlist. I'll see you next time.